Today I'm going to go over with you the honors reading assignment that you're going to be assigned today, and you essentially have almost an entire month to complete this assignment. And it does take some time because it requires you to read a novel and also watch a film. This will be due on Monday, December 14th, which means that you will be turning it in to turnitin.com on Canvas, which you've already done before and know how to do. But there will be a place on December 14th for you to turn it in to Canvas. The learning objectives is that you will be able to recognize and apply the steps of the hero's journey and character archetypes to a novel and film of choice, and write a compare and contrast outline to prepare for a final essay. Overview. Becoming an effective writer is dependent upon being an effective reader. Reading unlocks imagination and opens doors to other worlds and life experiences. Over the next month, you are going to read a novel, watch a movie, collect evidence, and write an essay. You will be completing these tasks alongside your narrative writing in class. That means you will need to pace yourself, so get started right away. One of the reasons I'm giving this to you before Thanksgiving break is so that you could spend a portion of your Thanksgiving break reading the novel and maybe even completing a big chunk of this assignment, so that when we return and we are working on narrative writing, that you don't feel overwhelmed by that. Task 1. Study the hero's journey and character archetypes. So first of all, in Task 1, you're going to refamiliarize yourself with the 12 steps to the hero's journey, and I've linked that assignment down below. And familiarize yourself with the 8 most common character archetypes, and you'll have to look them up and define them for yourself, and I'll show you that when we get to Task 1. Task 2 is to read and analyze a self-selected novel. So you're going to choose a novel from the list below, and you're going to visit Steele Canyon in the library to check out a copy of your novel of choice. Then you'll read the book and complete Task 2. So you have 5 novels to choose from: Enrique's Journey, The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian, The Land of Permanent Goodbyes, The Hate U Give, and The Book Thief. These are all books that have been beloved and loved by students, which is why I chose them. They also work really well for the hero's journey, and I think that you will discover interest not only in reading one of these, but also in thinking about how they apply to a bigger picture. Each one of these is a link so that you can read the summary on Amazon for each of these books. And if you are unsure of what to do, then please let me know. Task 3 is reading analysis of the self-selected film study. So for Task 3, I've given you 8 different choices of films to watch. You have Star Wars, Moana, Harry Potter, the Sorcerer's Stone specifically, Spider-Man: Homecoming, The Hunger Games, Captain Marvel, Black Panther, and Mulan. Task 4, you're going to do a compare and contrast essay outline. You'll complete the outline for a compare and contrast essay about the 2 protagonists from your self-selected novel and your self-selected film. Note, you are not writing the essay yet. So Task 1, you'll see, is the study of the hero's journey and archetypes. So I asked you to refamiliarize yourself with the 12 steps of the hero's journey, which are listed below. And you can always go back to this hero's journey assignment to help you. That's the one that has the video that you watched on the hero's journey, and the one where you already compared this, the hero's journey, to a film or a novel you may have read. So here's all the stages of the hero's journey to refamiliarize yourself. The second part is for you to do a little bit of research and to familiarize yourself with the 8 most common character archetypes. You're going to look them up and define them in the boxes provided. So there are 8 different ones. You may have heard some of these terms before. For sure you've heard hero and mentor and ally, but you might not know what a herald or a trickster is. Many of you who are interested in mythology may know what a shapeshifter is, a guardian, and a shadow. And you'll put the explanation in your own words here that you find from your search on the internet. Task 2 is to read and analyze the self-selected novel. So step 1 is, as you read the novel, identify at least 9 of the 12 steps of the hero's journey and briefly explain what's happening and provide at least one quote from that section and page number. So you'll just briefly explain, for example, what the ordinary world is for the protagonist and write a quote and page number from the ordinary world. And you have to do it for 9 of them. You can do all 12 if you'd like, but it's not any extra points or anything like that. I just know that sometimes not every part of the hero's journey works well with every story, so I didn't want to make you have to figure out what all 12 steps are, because there might only be 9. Also, you will be able to use these notes when you're writing your essay, so make sure you make them really useful. Step 2, as you read your novel, identify the characters that fit each archetype and explain why they fit that archetype. So note some characters may fit in multiple categories, and there might be more than one character per category. So it doesn't need to be a really exhaustive list, but you should be looking for all of these archetypes in the story. And so you'll just write down the character from the novel and an explanation of why they fit that archetype. Then for task number 3, you're basically doing the exact same thing you did for the novel, but you're doing it for the film. So as you view the film, you are going to identify at least 9 of the 12 steps of the hero's journey and briefly explain what is happening and provide at least one quote from that section. Again, you'll be able to use your notes when you write the essay, so make them useful to you. Make sure you have a brief explanation here and then the quote from the movie. Now, go ahead and have the pause button ready because there's going to be quotes that are happening. Paraphrase is okay. Or details from the movie of what's happening, because the ordinary world might not be spoken about, but it might be, you might see the ordinary world. So you might here have to just describe, like, let's say it's somebody's bedroom, the color of their comforter, who lives with them, those kinds of things. So when I say quote, I use that loosely. It might be a paraphrase, and it might be, I'll add in here, it might be a detail from the movie. Like you might have to describe what's actually what you see in the movie for different parts. And then step 2 is the same thing. You're going to look for the different characters from your movie. And this time you're going to show us what the archetype is for each character. Okay, and give me an explanation. The last part is to do an outline for a compare and contrast essay. And I know you haven't done one specifically in our class, but you have done an argumentative essay. And they're very similar, except that basically what you're doing is you're making a claim about what is similar and what is different about these protagonists, the main characters. So your essay prompt is, as a culminating assessment of your understanding of the hero's journey concepts in the literature study, you will write a comparison and contrast essay of the protagonist in your selected novel and the protagonist in your selected film. Your essay will be a minimum of 4 paragraphs, typed and double-spaced. Please plan on using the format outlined below. Be sure to formulate a clear main claim that you will support with details and text evidence from the text and video. Also incorporate logical and smooth transitions, subclaims, literary and hero's journey terminology, and high-level vocabulary. To be clear, you are not writing an essay at this point, you are only making an outline. Now here's a whole bunch of possible topics for comparison and contrast. You could look at each character's specific steps of the hero's journey or parts of it. You could look at revelations and transformations, both physical and mental, or how each character's mentors and or helpers are involved with their lives, the challenges and temptations that are faced by the character, the roles that they have as traveler or prisoner or fighter or fortune seeker, the relationships they have with their enemies or monsters or adversity. How does each seek revenge or not? How do they make amends with the gods, or how do they find atonement? What about seeking closure with or obtaining information from old friends? Using disguises upon returning home? Relationships with their wife or fiance? The female protagonists in each story, qualities, faithfulness, heroism, strength, each character's abyss, or clever skills or methods of escape. A pro tip is that the internet can be a useful tool, especially if you're struggling. Personally, I would suggest Googling the UNC Writing Center and using their handouts concerning the following: understanding assignments, outlines. Specifically look at their compare and contrast essays because they have some examples for you to look at. You will be writing this essay on Tuesday, December 15th during class time, and so it's really important for you to have your ideas organized on the outline so you can focus on writing your essay. Now, this outline is not an exhaustive outline. It's really just a place for you to have some information ready to go so that you can put the whole essay together when you actually do it. So ahead of time with your introduction, you think about how you're going to introduce your paper and how will you preview information. That's your grabber and your bridge. And then when you write your main claim, include title, author, director, and the overall claim that you wish to make. For body paragraph number 1, what is the topic of that paragraph? And when you figure out your topic, remember you're going back to one of these. So one of these could be a topic of one body paragraph. And what quotes will you use? And how does this paragraph support your thesis? So you're going to write a subclaim. You can get that done ahead of time. And then you're going to write at least 2 evidence sentences to use. You can always add more, but I would like you to have at least 2. And then just give yourself, write a little paragraph or, some explanation for yourself, some notes for yourself. Based on the topic of this paragraph, briefly explain what is similar or different between the 2 protagonists on this topic. So you're just basically kind of thinking ahead of time and outlining what you might discuss that is similar or different. And then you're going to do the same thing for body paragraph number 2, but this time it will be on a different topic from this list. And you will write a subclaim, at least 2 evidence sentences, and a comparison and contrast, write about your comparison and contrast. I added a little bit of clarity for the essay format. So this is going to be the outline that you fill out, but the essay format itself is really, you're going to have an introduction, body paragraph number 1, which will be topic number 1, where you will compare and contrast both protagonists on that topic. Then body paragraph number 2, topic 2, and you'll compare and contrast both protagonists on that topic, and then a conclusion. So I just added that in the middle here, and then your topics will be listed down below, and then your outline will be below that. Anyway, if you have any questions, let me know in class when I see you tomorrow, but I wanted you to be able to preview this, and some of you I know are coming to school this week for different reasons, and I wanted you to know that your task number 2, I'll go back to it, is to choose that novel from the list and visit Seal Canyon to check it out. So I don't want you to miss that opportunity to check out that novel. And so I wanted to make sure you had this today just in case. I will be at Seal Canyon on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. So if you need to stop by or have any questions, you're welcome to let me know ahead of time and we can make an appointment. I hope you are having a good day, and I'll talk to you soon.